Imagine, standing on a cold, misty morning beside thousands of fellow soldiers. The distant hum of enemy drums fills the air. Just as uncertainty begins to creep into your heart, a charismatic leader rides past, filling the atmosphere with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. That leader is none other than Napoleon Bonaparte, and the force bolstering your spirit? That's morale, Napoleon's invisible weapon. The tales of Napoleon often focus on his strategic brilliance or the vast stretches of Europe he conquered. But today, we delve into something more intangible, yet incredibly powerful, the spirit of his soldiers. So stick around, for we're unraveling the mysteries behind this invisible force. Napoleon Bonaparte was no ordinary leader, content to command from the safety of his headquarters. He was a vibrant force on the battlefield, right there in the thick of it, his silhouette distinguishable even through the haze of gunpowder and the chaos of battle. His presence was a testament to his commitment. When night fell and the echoes of warfare faded, Napoleon would make his rounds through the encampments. The flickering campfires would illuminate his face as he spoke directly with his soldiers, not as a distant emperor but as a comrade in arms. This approach, unconventional for a leader of his stature, fostered an extraordinary bond of trust and loyalty. The soldiers felt seen, valued, and understood. The camaraderie developed during these interactions went beyond the standard fealty to a flag or a nation. For the French soldier, the line between fighting for France and fighting for Napoleon became blurred. In their hearts and minds, to fight for one was to fight for the other. Napoleon wasn't just their emperor, he was their brother in arms, and they would follow him to the ends of the earth. In the intricate tapestry of European history, military prestige and aristocracy were often interwoven. Nobility dictated command, and blue blood, rather than merit, paved the way to power. But in the world of Napoleon, these age-old norms were disrupted and recalibrated. Napoleon ushered in a revolutionary era that democratized military advancement. The old-world confines of birthright no longer served as the sole key to ascendancy. Instead, the very ethos of the Napoleonic era screamed, merit above all. The oft-repeated phrase, from the soldier's knapsack to the marshal's baton, was more than mere words, it was a philosophy, a promise that every soldier, whether a footman or a cavalry rider, carried in his heart. This transformative approach breathed fresh life into the army. It wasn't just about following orders anymore, it was about showcasing valor, demonstrating tactical brilliance, and seizing the opportunity. A common infantryman, with dreams in his eyes and courage in his heart, could visualize himself as a general one day. He knew that if he excelled, if he showcased true grit and genius on the battlefield, the system would recognize and reward him, irrespective of his humble beginnings or lack of aristocratic lineage. This radical shift in mindset and policy was more than just reform, it was a revolution in itself. The promise of upward mobility based purely on merit instilled a fierce sense of motivation, competition, and aspiration among the ranks. The battlefield was no longer just a place of war, it was an arena of opportunity. For in Napoleon's army, glory was no longer the sole domain of the elite, it was a dream every soldier could touch, feel, and chase. Imagine the sheer willpower needed to march swiftly across vast lands, surprising enemies at every turn. Napoleon was a strategist par excellence, and he recognized that in the art of war, speed was as lethal a weapon as any blade or bullet. He demanded rapid movements, not just for the sake of motion but as a tactical ploy. Quick marches could disorient enemies, disrupt their plans, and provide a strategic edge. But to achieve this, he needed more than just fit soldiers, he needed warriors with hearts of steel. The bond between the physical and the mental was never more evident. The long marches were as much a battle of the mind as of the body. Yet, with their morale bolstered by victories, leadership, and the promise of glory, the soldiers of the Napoleonic army were an unstoppable force. Their pace, driven by the fusion of high spirits and sheer determination, often became their unsung weapon. Before enemies could even finalize their defenses or strategies, Napoleon's men were already at their gates, flags flying high, ready for the next conquest. In the early days of Napoleon's campaigns, victory followed victory in a seemingly unending cascade of glory. From the sun-baked sands of Egypt to the snow-clad fields of Austerlitz, each conquest was like a resounding affirmation of their prowess. And with every triumph, the collective confidence of the army soared even higher, creating an aura of invincibility around them. This sensation of invulnerability was infectious. As soldiers swapped stories around campfires, tales of their might and valor spread like wildfire. New recruits, hearing of these legendary exploits, would join the ranks with stars in their eyes, eager to be part of this unstoppable force. Battle-hardened and proud veterans wore their scars as badges of honor, testaments to their indomitable spirit. But it wasn't just about pride or bragging rights. This self-belief had tangible strategic implications. Opponents, hearing of the French army's string of unbroken successes, would often be psychologically defeated even before the actual confrontation. Doubt would creep into their strategies, and fear into their formations. The very sight of the tricolor flag on the horizon would send shivers down their spine. There's profound wisdom in the adage, belief can move mountains. For Napoleon's troops, this wasn't just a philosophical concept, it was a lived reality. As the saying aptly goes, an army that feels unbeatable is already on the path of victory. And in the halcyon days of the Napoleonic era, his army didn't just walk that path, they marched it with heads held high, hearts full of fire, and spirits that seemed, for a time, truly indomitable. The realm of battles is not confined to fields of war. Sometimes, the most influential battles are won in the minds and hearts of the people. And in this cerebral theater, storytelling becomes the most potent weapon. Napoleon recognized and harnessed this power with an astuteness that set him apart. Drenched in the rich tapestry of French history, the symbols and sentiments of the French Revolution were not merely historical footnotes for Napoleon. They were living, breathing entities, powerful tools that he wielded with the finesse of a seasoned artist. The tricolor flag, the passionate anthems, the iconic Phrygian cap, each was more than just a symbol. They were the embodiment of a nation's dreams and aspirations. When Napoleon spoke of liberty, he didn't merely reference a concept, he painted vivid images of a free France, unshackled from the chains of tyranny. In his mentions of equality, he evoked visions of a society where every Frenchman, whether a baker in Paris or a farmer in Provence, stood shoulder to shoulder, undivided by class or creed. And fraternity? This was the emotional heartstring he plucked with particular tenderness, weaving tales of camaraderie, unity, and brotherhood. But what made Napoleon's narrative prowess truly exceptional was his expansive canvas. Through passionate speeches, artful propaganda, and strategic dissemination, he painted a grand picture where every French citizen, soldier or civilian, felt intrinsically woven into this epic tale of revolution and renaissance. In the grand chessboard of war, soldiers are not just pieces moved by the whims of their leaders, they are flesh and blood, driven by passion, dedication, and often, the allure of tangible rewards. Napoleon, with his astute understanding of human nature, recognized this fundamental truth and masterfully leveraged it to fuel his army's fervor. Imagine, as the dust of battle settles and the sounds of combat fade, a victorious soldier looks upon the conquered land, knowing that it promises more than just strategic advantage. There lies the promise of treasure, wealth, and better days. Looting, though controlled and regulated, was not merely an act of indulgence. For many soldiers, it represented a direct, tangible benefit of their toils and risks. The spoils of war, be it precious artifacts from enemy palaces or simple trinkets from local markets, served as both a trophy of conquest and a means to better their lives. These material gains were often symbols of personal valor, stories of bravery to be shared, and legacies to be passed down. But Napoleon's genius lay not just in allowing these spoils, it was in institutionalizing rewards. Beyond the immediate bounty of war, there were the structured benefits, improved pay grades, promotions, and honors. A soldier in Napoleon's army knew that exemplary service would not go unnoticed. Their bravery on the battlefield could mean a better life for their families, and a chance to climb the social ladder. Yet, as we weave this narrative, it's essential to remember that while morale was Napoleon's secret sauce, it wasn't the sole ingredient. His strategic acumen, revolutionary army reforms, and the socio-political European landscape played equally defining roles. But like all great tales, there's a twist. As years rolled by, the once unbreakable spirit of the Napoleonic armies began to show cracks. The weight of constant warfare, long campaigns, and mounting losses took their toll. The same morale that once soared like an eagle began to falter, leading to a ripple effect on the battlefield. A vital lesson is that the spirit's flame, once extinguished, can have repercussions as significant as any tactical blunder. So, why does this story matter? It's a testament to the fact that while weapons, strategy, and territory are crucial, the human spirit's resilience and belief can be the most potent weapon of all. If this journey through time has captivated you, why not become a regular traveler? Hit that subscribe button, engage with this channel, and let's uncover more hidden tales from history together. Until next time, keep the wheels of time turning.